And I have to remind them, folks, this takes time. It takes time to do it right. You rush it and it's going to fail. You rush the meat, it's not going to taste right. You rush the business systems, it just won't be sustainable.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Justin Harris.
So as I'm recording this, I just got back from Kansas City, Missouri. Now, beside the Chiefs, what is Kansas City known for? Well, it's their great barbecue. I had an interesting experience when I was in Kansas City. My first Uber ride. So this is not from the airport to the Marriott where we held our mastermind meeting, because that had a bus, a shuttle, if you will. Which was nice. But when I went from the hotel to the downtown, I think it was the first evening that I was there, I was in the Uber and I asked the Uber driver, what should I do while I'm here? And he said, well, it's Kansas City barbecue. I'm like, okay, well, what's the best barbecue joint in town? And he said, Frank's or Q39. And I'm like, well, which one would you go to? And he said, well, you happen to be going to an area where Q39 is. And I said, okay, great. So I made a reservation. I went to Q39. I don't know how many of you have ever been there, but it was fabulous. It was great. It was wonderful. It was a good environment. It happened to be on a Sunday, and it happened to be on a Chiefs game, a home game. And there was a sea of red jerseys in that place, and I was there alone, and I was surrounded by Chiefs fans, which was fine. I felt very safe. But folks, I have to tell you something. And no diss on Q39. Wonderful food. Don't get me wrong. But it was one of these things where, you ever been to a movie after someone said, oh my gosh, this is just the best movie ever. It's the best movie ever. You just got to go to this movie. It's the best movie ever. And you go to it and you're like, okay, it was good, but you're kind of let down because it was supposed to be the best movie ever. So here's the thing, folks, don't get me wrong. In fact, I actually went back to Q39 a couple of days later. I'd stayed a little bit late after the mastermind and had another evening to myself. And I went back to Q39. So that tells you how good it was. It was good. It was very good. However, I have a place here in Rigby, Idaho, believe it or not, that a little place called Little Mike's. And Little Mike's, when I say Rigby, Idaho, folks, let me paint the picture. There's like 3,000 people in Rigby, Idaho. Okay, this is not a big place. The next biggest city, you want to call it a city, town, is Idaho Falls, and that's only 70,000 people, right? This is just small town Idaho, and it's Idaho. Idaho's not known for its barbecue, folks, but I'm telling you, Little Mike's is amazing. I've never not had good food at Little Mike's. And not only that, by the way, but Guy Fieri, am I saying that right? The guy with the white hair, the spiky, you know who I'm talking about, right? The food guy. He came to this area a couple of years ago, and he went to their sister store, or sister restaurant in West Yellowstone called, I think it's called Firehole Barbecue. But it's owned by the same people. It's the same recipes. It's the same everything. I've eaten at both. They're the same food, right? And he liked it so much that he did his show from there. One of his shows is in West Yellowstone, and that is the restaurant that he visited. It's that good, folks. I'm telling you. I'm sorry, Q39. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kansas City. But Little Mike's, I think, has you beat. Little Mike's in Rigby, Idaho. By the way, I took, when Blaine was here with his partner a couple of years ago, that's where the idea for the Elevate Retreat was hatched. I mean, we had talked about it before, but it was at Little Mike's Barbecue in Rigby, Idaho. where we sat across from each other and said, you know what, Blaine, we need to stop talking about combining forces and doing something together and just do it. That happened at Little Mike's. All right. I want to pause for a quick commercial break, if you will. Then when I come back, I want to teach a business principle that has to do a little bit with the barbecue. First, I want to pause and remind you that we're sponsored by a great company called, OREP Insurance. OREP is the E&O insurance that I use. It's the E&O insurance that you should use. Why? Because it's not just one insurance company, folks. It is a broker. That means they are going to help you. They're going to help you find what you need. The best price, the best coverage for your individual needs. It's orep.org is where you find out more, orep.org. TrueTracks. TrueTracks is the ability to support your adjustments, folks. And by the way, it takes about 5 to 7 minutes. Think about this, folks. If you had complete support for your appraisals in 5 to 7 minutes, what would you pay for that? It's very little effort and it is powerful. Check them out by going to truefootage.tech/tools. And by the way, if you use the coupon code AppraiserCoach, that's capital A, capital C, one word, you will get not 2 free weeks that they're giving to everybody, but you'll get an additional 4 weeks, a total of 6 weeks. That's AppraiserCoach, capital A, capital C, no space, for TrueTracks. Are you ready, folks, to bring your business to the next level? We're not talking about just keeping track of your orders. We're talking about, yes, you've got to spend a little money up front. It's an investment, okay? And we don't hide the prices. Check them out. Go to my website, TheAppraiserCoach.com, scroll to the bottom, hit products, scroll to the bottom, and click on True Home Tracker. True Home Tracker, folks, is a full business automation system, okay? Basically, it's this. Everything that the Appraiser Coach teaches about how to streamline all of your business systems put into a software. That's what it is. That's the best way I can describe it. The stuff that I teach and the ability to be able to take your business to the next level packaged up into a software. Check it out by going again to theappraisercoach.com, scroll to the bottom, or go to products, scroll to the bottom, True Home Tracker. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Dustin Harris hanging out, talking barbecue. It's making me hungry. It's actually 4:18 in the afternoon right now as I look at my clock and I'm getting hungry. I love Little Mike's here in Rigby. I loved Q39. I didn't ever get a chance to get over to Frank's. So, next time Kansas City, next time we're there, we will visit Frank's and see if it's any better. Again, Q39 was great. It was great. Out of 10, it was a 9.5, right? I just think that Little Mike's is a 9.7. It's that good. Now, what makes it good, folks? And it doesn't matter if you're Q39 or you're Frank's or you're Black's down in Texas, which I've eaten at before, or wherever you are, folks. How do you make great smoked meat? Well, I happen to know because I have a Traeger and I've been practicing on it for the last, 4 or 5 years now. I'm getting better and better, mostly at the brisket, which I love, by the way. I just love cooking on my Traeger. Why? Because it's slow going. And here's the thing, folks. If you want good meat, you've got to slow down. You've got to let it cook from the inside out, right? And that's what it's all about. So where is the business principle here, Dustin? Okay. Well, folks, if Little Mike's is going to start serving meat in the lunchtime period, I think they open at like 11, folks, they've got to get up super early and get that meat cooking way before breakfast time, right? They've got to do it right. Fast is not good when it comes to smoked meat. Where is the analogy, Dustin? Well, the analogy is this, folks. If you want to have a quality appraisal business, right, it cannot be rushed. If you want to have a great appraisal, right, you can have efficiencies. I'm all about cutting down our man hour, right, as long as it doesn't cut down the quality. But guess what? You can do that if you do it properly. As you're building this business, I have this conversation with my clients frequently. where we are across from one another doing a coaching session, and there's a little bit of frustration coming from them saying, my gosh, I've been working on this and I just want it to work. I just want to get there. I want to be where I want to be, not where I'm at. And I have to remind them, folks, this takes time. It takes time to do it right. You rush it and it's going to fail. You rush the meat, it's not going to taste right. You rush the business systems, it just won't be sustainable. Thank you for joining me today, folks. Hope you've gained some insights today. Hope you were reminded of some principles that can help you to be better business owners and make more money out there. Go create some value.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit TheAppraiserCoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.